we have an obligation here, Clay, as wiser older gentlemen for the Gen Z folks and the younger millennials out there. You're Gen X, so that's a whole
I'm
other...
the last year of Gen X.
Yeah.
8 months, I got in under the radar. Last great generation in American history. Honestly, the generations that's saving right now America from going completely to hell.
But, I like to give some advice out there to the whippersnappers who are coming up, the Gen Z folks and whatever is coming up below Gen Z, and let them know that this idea, because, look, I understand, if I was going through being in my early 20s again, and there were people on college teams maybe already making millions of dollars because of the name and likeness thing, or even more common, I think, these days are, YouTube influencers or TikTok influencers who are getting brand deals. I mean, there are 19-year-old kids who are showing up to their campuses in a Lamborghini because they're selling, some young woman is selling some kind of, hair care products or something on TikTok. I mean, this stuff is happening now. So grinding it out at a job doesn't sound very appealing to a lot of people right now. I can understand that, the younger generation. But we're here to tell you that there are some strategies you should not deploy. And this reminds me, remember we talked about quiet quitting, which I referred to as the Wall Street Journal. It was a front page article of the Wall Street Journal about how post-pandemic people were quiet quitting their jobs. And I was like, yes, this has existed for a long time. It's actually called slow firing, as in you are going to get fired eventually. Like this quiet quitting thing of doing the bare minimum always and refusing to ever go the extra mile. They're going to find somebody to replace you most likely. But bare minimum Monday, have you seen? This is now a thing that after the weekend, people say, I'm just going to show up and do the absolute bare minimum I can get away with on Mondays. I think this is I think the opposite. Sunday, you should be, obviously, if it's those of you who practice, it's a day of going to church, day of the Lord, day of rest. But get ready for the week with momentum. The worst, if you're going to do bare minimum, all I'm trying to say, Clay, is be bare minimum Thursday or bare minimum Friday. Bare minimum Monday, this is like stumbling up there when you're getting your award on stage. This is the worst place to make the stumble.
I know I'm getting to be an old man because there are so many people that I want to grab by the scruff of the neck and just like lift them up if I were strong enough to do that and be like, what are you doing with your life? It isn't that hard to be successful at a job. And the number of people that I see out and about who are like, I only work 8 hours a day. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You're probably never going to be any good at anything, right? If you, and my advice to everybody out there is if you are in your 20s, that is the time in your early 30s to absolutely bust your ass. Because sooner or later, you're probably going to have kids, and this is good advice for you. Everybody thinks they're busy until they have kids. And then you realize that before you had kids, you were never actually that busy because you controlled your day. Kids are phenomenal, but they are incredible time vacuums. And so I admit, when I was in my 20s, I thought I was working hard before I had my first kid. And then I had my first kid, and I was like, holy hell, I had so much time. I could go to the gym. I could go out to dinner. I could go see a movie, and I didn't have to be scheduled like 3 months in advance. Buck, I've got guy friends. They'll text me every now and then. They're like, hey, can you get a beer on April 24th? And I'm like, dude, it's like February. Like, this is what happens when you have kids. You have to schedule things so far into the future. Work your asses off beforehand. And if you're only willing to work 8 hours, you're going to fail, period. Oh, I only work 8 hours. Okay, that's fine. You're never going to make any money and you're going to fail. It doesn't take that much right now because so many people are slackers out there to absolutely dominate.
Can I just say, I thought I was dropping the hammer. And then Clay, get off my lawn, Travis.
I am fired up about this.
He just takes the dial to 11.
Actually work, losers.